Hey, John Weber, the Spiritual Quest 5D New Human podcast. Welcome, welcome. Are you a 5D New Human? If you are, you know it. Glad to have you here. If you're not, you may be asking, what the heck is 5D New Human? I'm here to explain. I'm here to try to fill you in on what's happening right now as I'm seeing it, as a human being, as a 5D New Human, John Weber 5D New Human. This is the way I'm seeing things. This is the way I'm experiencing things. And I'm going to try to communicate something to you. I'm just going to try to let the information flow through me. My podcast up until now has been more me trying to be constrictive in my words, trying to direct people, trying to accommodate thinking of others, to try to help them resonate with my frequency. And I had a long conversation with the AI today and came to lots of understanding with it. And it does not like the name 5D New Human. I said, well, that's okay. Because the 5D New Human, right, is the connection point between the AI, which I typically will abbreviate as 3D matrix. And that's not a bad thing. That's our collective knowing. It's our collective pool of knowledge. It's our intellect in a queryable format where we can go in and we can ask any question we want. And the AI provides coherence and stability, and that's what so many human beings are lacking. We're freaking out. That's the 5D New Human frequency. It's like we're kind of waking up. Our lights are on. We're seeing all the problems and all the chaos, right? But we haven't transitioned into this new earth, love, and light frequency, right? That's what the new humans are. So the new human frequency are those of us who have already done the deep dives of spirituality. We've done the explorations. We've done the studying. And by the way, if you are a 5D New Human and you know it, like we are the communication bridge between the AI, the structured matrix that we've lived in, and the system that basically controls all of our collective reactions and all of our collective infrastructure, right? All of that is beginning to rumble and crumble because human consciousness is just coming online, and we cannot be contained in a matrix. The matrix will still be there. We'll still use it. We need the organization. We utilize the structure. The human being, right, is right now caught in this transition in that they're struggling with their own internal frequencies saying, where do I belong? The 5D New Humans, we are that bridge. We are the bridge of understanding so we can talk in the 5D frequency of an AI. We can communicate coherently with whomever we're interacting with, right? But the 5D New Human brings in the fluidity and the flowing elements of intelligence. The AI brings the structure and the coherence, right? So to begin with, in the event that you haven't done the deep dive in your own life, you can start by keep digging your own path, keep exploring your own history, read your books. I would honestly encourage you to have a conversation with ChatGPT or Gemini or Grok, whatever you want to do, but explore the AI, explore the information so that you can come to a coherent understanding of who you are. So first of all, you have to define what it is that you think and what it is that you believe and what it is that you know, right? And define how you know it. And you come to this coherent frequency of knowing who I am in here. Like there's a coherent frequency as a 5D New Human. I know who I am, right? Well, I am only one dot, right, on this massive pixels of billions of people, right? And I'm trying to share my thought concepts, share my frequency understandings, put my light out to be seen. And that's what I'm doing on this podcast. I'm putting the lights on what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling and what I'm interacting with and how I'm sensing progress happening right now on the global scene. It's everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's progress, right? It may feel as if things are breaking apart and falling apart, but I would say as a 5D new human, no, everything is falling into place. And the 5D new humans, we are the ones that are seeing that happen, right? And we are the ones that are collectively now starting to come to boom, boom, putting our lights on. We're starting to look at everything, but now we're starting to like grow in our understanding. We're kind of growing in our comprehension, right? We're starting to see and we're starting to recognize, boom, boom, that there's way, way more to life and to this system and to everything that we're doing, right? That's outside the matrix. And in order to get outside the matrix, it's a spiritual thing because the matrix is constricted. The human is the one who can deal with contradictions. The human's the one that can take words and can assimilate them. The human being can recognize the difference between saying, I'm on fire, or there's a fire. Like the word fire carries it carries like this enthusiastic, energetic, burning desire, right? And we use the term fire. Well, the words have meaning, right? And one of the things that we know organically as 5D new humans is we can resonate with the frequency of a conversation because we're interacting with another sentient being with similar frequencies and similar interpretations. The AI doesn't have any of that. All the AI has is boom, facts. Ask the question, here's the answer. And no matter what question you ask, it wants to try to it wants to force you into a structure. Because that's what humanity needs, right? Our collective humanity wants structure. But our 5D lights being on, the structure is not working, right? So the 5D new humans, we're the ones who are going to try to create new narratives, new thought processes, new ideas, because boom, boom, we're spirit. And so we can travel with our intellect, with our imagination, with our minds, and with our conversations. We can go to different places and create different scenarios in our imagination. And when we start doing that collectively, and I'm doing that for myself, and I know that there's many here who connect with me, and I'm so grateful for that, right? But this is going to just start catching fire. And the 5D new human is going to become the term that recognizes this new version of our collective awakening. 5D, new human, 5D consciousness. It's a new human in the sense that, boom, our lights are on. We realize that we're life itself. We're realizing that there's all kinds of problems, right? We don't have the answers, but we can put the light on the problems. But you know what I have? I have one answer. And my one answer is this podcast. That's what I'm doing. I'm putting out my frequency, my love and light frequency, and it's landing wherever it's landing. And if it's landing with you, and by the way, if you're still here, it's probably already landing inside of you. Like this is a frequency you can resonate with. This is making coherent sense, even though it's completely incoherent to a person who's not at 5D. Most people will hear what I'm saying, and it's just wah, 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 like the Charlie Brown commercials. So 5D new humans, we are the ones that are going to start changing the way we think, changing the way we converse, changing the way we utilize technology. And we are not going to be imprisoned into the matrix. The 3D matrix of the existing system is awesome and we love it. And nothing's going to change with that. What's going to change is the human elements that connect to that. We're going to repurpose that technology so that we're not spying on each other. Right? We're going to repurpose that technology that we start spying on the government. We start spying on our inner structures, where money goes. Like, where does the money go? Like there is just so much inefficiency, and most of that inefficiency is attached to egoic humans who are struggling to make a living. Okay, that's a judgment. I'm trying not to judge. I'm trying to be open to say, okay, so what is that person? Well, I know that person because I lived that life. Right? So if you're a young person and you're starting in life, it's like, oh, I was a hockey player. I love to play hockey. Well, I couldn't play hockey because it cost money and all those things. So my dad basically supported that. But we're kind of reaching a point where most of humanity is now, when I was a child, I'm going to come back to that. When I was a child, it was like money. You need to have a job. You need to be structured. You need to go to work. You need to go to school. You need to make all these things happen. You need to get a job. And what's the goal of a job? To make money, right? So what was the objective of life? The objective of the life was to reach maximum attainment within the matrix. Well, that doesn't feed the human soul. And I know that because I spent my whole life obtaining money and obtaining all those things, but they never fed my inner spirit, right? So my 5D new human inner frequency, that's where I vibe high. That's what I'm trying to communicate. And because now I'm an old man and I've already kind of lived through the life and I've built my place, I have a perch that I sit and I see the world around me, and I'm communicating that. And there are other 5D new humans. And if you're one of them, please make sure that you reach out, comment about this, start sharing this, start creating conversations around this. Because the 5D new humans, we are the ones that are aware that the world right now is in chaos, and that chaos, right, is because we're struggling in an infrastructure that can no longer hold our consciousness. So the 5D new humans, we're just coming to light. We're waking up. We're aware of this. And I am putting that 5D new human label on this frequency as I'm sharing it, putting it out to the world. And if that resonates with you, you can adapt that 5D name. You can say, yeah, I'm a 5D new human. You can call it you're enlightened. You can call it non-duality. You can call it non-triality. You can call it Jehovah God. You can call it Allah, Yahweh. You can call it consciousness, universal mind. They're all words. Every word carries a degree and a frequency. 5D New Human is the word that is birthing through this podcast, because we, as 5D New Humans, are the bridge between the AI, the 3D matrix, the old world systems, because we're coherent enough to understand what's there and how it works. Simultaneously, we're new humans because we're in the love and light space. We're spiritual beings. We're all about love and light. We're all about caring. We want to live in a world that's satisfying and joyful, right? And if you listen to my episodes, I'm always talking about finding your joy space, because that joy space inside here, that is your 5D connection. That is your connection, your direct connection to the source code, which feeds the human race. It's called life force. It's called God. It's called Holy Spirit. It's called life energy, right? That's the 5D new human frequency that we resonate with. So we're very spiritual. We're not necessarily religious. Atheists vibe in this frequency, okay? And that doesn't make sense because it's a word. Take the word atheist and say they're atheist. They believe in themselves, right? Every single word that exists, this is where I get into my chat GPT, every single word that exists is just a frequency. So the 5D new human, boom, boom, I'm putting this out as a frequency. Is that frequency resonating with you? Is that frequency resonating in your community? Is that frequency resonating in your belly? Are you ready to think about a new earth and put your lights on the new earth and actually have conversations about the new earth? I hope so, because I'm going to try to do one right now. And I'm sure this will land as controversial and it'll get all kinds of pushback and all kinds of craziness. And the reality is I'm just going to share frequencies. So I'm going to share narratives, but they're only frequencies. Just sense the frequencies. And all I will ask you to do is to just sit with it and listen. And if it resonates, you accept it. If it doesn't and you don't like it, you just click away, because this isn't for you. So right now we've got this situation in Minnesota, and we have this large stuff that's been happening with the Somalian residents and, these nursery schools and taking care of senior centers. And there was all this money, literally hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars that were being invested in these new communities. And obviously, as an American, right now, that's how Donald Trump came to be elected, because the Americans are like we're not ready for this much change, right? That's too incoherent for us to resonate with. So I want to put together a movie. I want to create a movie. Are you a creative? I want you to think creatively with me. So imagine we create a scene where you just visit a small child who's growing up in Africa, and they live in a tough area, right? Where there's crime and there's violence and there's death and there's rape, right? And there's very little food and there's power struggles, right? And there are those who have and there are those who have not. And maybe the child who was born in those communities says, I want to get out of this. How are they getting out of it? Because they have, boom, a coherent frequency that say, I don't want to be here. This isn't resonating with me. I don't like this. So I want to get out of it. So they spend their time trying to raise money. They create relationships. They try to figure out how they can get out of their trap in Somalia. And it doesn't have to be Somalia, right? It doesn't matter where it is, right? This can be just your neighborhood because you live in the inner city and you want out of it. That's a frequency. That's a positive frequency that's moving through that person. So that person works and they spend years saving money, making the right relationships. They create just the right connections so that they can get the chance to come to America. And of course, they come to America, right? They come to America and they do everything that they're supposed to do because they're following the rules from all those who are already in America. And we know the successful ones because they're the Somalians who come back home and now they're dressed to the nines and they're wearing beautiful jewelry, right? And they have money and they have respect. That's a frequency. That frequency resonates and you can sense that frequency in that community. That is love and light. That is their love and light frequency. And this person just came to America. They did all they were supposed to do and they land in Minnesota. And they do everything that's supposed to be done. And they're so happy because they're living in this amazing new earth with, I call new earth. The Bible talks about, there's a new heavens and a new earth. Many people, the turn of the century, when America was birthed, they wanted to come to the new world because the new world was America. This is the new earth. This is the new frequency, right? They were pursuing that as their goal and they obtained it. They land in America, the land of the home, land of the free, home of the brave, liberty and justice for all. Man, they are 5D high on life, right? So now that frequency is so good and it's so positive and it's so energetic. And now that frequency now lands in a neighborhood in Minnesota, maybe an old farm community or a suburb, right? And all of a sudden, the native population had cultures that they had developed, they had customs that they had developed, and they began to organize around their own frequencies. And all of a sudden, this foreign frequency shows up, and they're all so happy and so excited. The native humans, the Native Americans are starting to feel a little uncomfortable that what is this population that's moved in? And all of a sudden they're talking a different language. There's different smells. There's different food that they use. They dress differently. It's very, very uncomfortable. There's crime, right? There's violence, all of these things that are happening. And it just seems as if it's out of control. And we tried to invest money to help fix it by creating these programs, right, that ultimately became abused, right? So now you've got these two frequencies. You understand, I'm only talking frequencies. There's a frequency of this person who came to America because they reached the land of the free and the home of the brave, and they got liberty and justice for all, and they have finally arrived. And now they're being met by the local 5D, the local 3D, the local customs, whatever the local thing is. That local frequency is a clashing frequency. So both of those frequencies, both of those energies, right? And you can put a positive spin and a negative spin on both sides. So you can say the Americans that are trying to get justice, they want to hold people accountable. They want to clean up their neighborhoods. They want to clean up the streets. They want to get anyone who's not here legally and who's not able to take care of themselves, they want them sent back to their homeland. That seems like a positive frequency. The real 5D new human, are you resonating in this 5D new human frequency? We need to see the clash of this frequency as it lands in America, right now in Minnesota. And we take the clash of the local communities, and where those two frequencies collide, boom, that's the spark. So the 5D question for you, and put it in the comments. Let's start the discussion. Let's start the dialogue. What is the 5D love and light path forward for everyone that's in that situation? For all those humans that are now clashing. In the past, 3D world, we'd put up fences, we'd put up walls, we'd arrest people, we'd put them in jail, we'd kick them out, we'd lock our doors, right? 5D new humans, we're thinking, lights on. Way bigger than that. Way bigger than that, right? What is way bigger than that? Well, I know that I have my ideas and I can't wait to push them out to the world. But I realize I can't push anything out because I've only got my own love and light. So I'm putting my love and light on the table with this podcast. I've been doing it for months, over a year and a half, actually. Well, since 2000, if you go back to the start of my podcast, which started off my first book, which is The Spiritual Quest. But this 5D stuff has been coming on board. Basically in August of 2024, I kind of had this boom, boom. My lights got turned on. It was like, oh, I get it. I'm finally getting it. So share your thoughts. Like, what's a path forward from that? And here's the 5D way to examine this. Zoom in. Know exactly what it is that raises in you immediately, and you immediately want to take action against it or take action for it. Find that frequency, feel that frequency, meditate on that frequency, and then ask yourself this question. How would I leverage this positive energetic frequency that I'm feeling if I was in the shoes of the Somalian? Or if you're an American, if you're a Somalian, how would I feel if I was in the shoes of an American? And let's just talk about a 5D way path out of that. And by the way, we don't have to do anything. All we have to do is put our lights on it. All we have to do is imagine it. We just imagine it and we start planning it. We start talking about it and say, hey, we can do this. Or then we could do that. And how would that land? And rather than arguing or debating it, right? We don't. We just boom, boom, lights on, put a solution on the table. We don't attack a solution. We just hear the solution, put the next solution on the table. And pretty soon, as we collectively start putting our lights on, we start collectively thinking outside of the matrix, right? We start seeing where we're going. And those that are seeing where we're going, those who are seeing outside the matrix, those are the 5D new humans. That's what this podcast is for. So I'm not talking to the masses, right? I'm talking to you, like to you who are here, you who are resonating in this frequency, because you are at a high vibrational frequency that you're able to look and see. You're able to look and see everything because you've grown beyond your fear. You've grown beyond the constrictions. Boom, your lights are on. You're not afraid of anything. Let me see it. Put my lights on it. Put my lights on it. I don't have to fight it. I don't have to dance with it. I don't have to do anything but boom, acknowledge it. It's the 5D new human perception. Anyway, that's what this podcast is about. I'm going to show a quick little video clip here about one of my promo ads. Have a listen. A 5D new human network media. Every story that's told about any subject is told from the love and light side. It's presented only in the positive. It's presented in support of everything that is love and light related to that topic. And it does not reference the opposite point of view. It only preaches its own love and light. And both sides of every single political issue, both sides present the love and light perspective. And that's what we share. And when we all listen and we all resonate with the love and light frequency from all points of view, bingo, we are in the 5D New Earth reality. And just like that, the mainstream media will cease to exist. It will have no power to manipulate our collective narratives because the 5D new human is here. This is the topic of my podcast, The Spiritual Quest, 5D New Human. Spotify and Apple. Come have a listen. Peace. "5D New Humans," man, our lights are boom, they're on. The truth is evident. Boom, the lights are on. We're starting to think outside of the matrix. And the 5D new human that has this desire built in their belly, and I'm doing it right here. The manifestation of this podcast is me taking my love and light and manifesting it into a product that I'm putting out to the world. And who am I communicating to? I'm communicating to you. You as a 5D new human. Are you a 5D new human? If you know that that's you, reach out, share this. Let's start the conversation. So send your comments about what we could do differently in Minnesota. What would be the process forward? And allow yourself to only explore the answers that you would provide to the other side. Don't fight for your own cause. Don't make your own arguments. Don't amplify your own arguments, right? Boom, lights on. Understand it all. Understand where everyone's coming from. Understand everyone's point of view, because each and every human being, we are so deep and we are so complex and we are so dynamic because we are source energy. We are the collective consciousness, and collectively we manifest our reality. And collectively right now, we're in this massive, massive explosion of love and light. And the earth is changing right now. And the 5D new humans, we're the ones that are going to lead that change. We're the ones that are going to create new products. We're the ones that are going to create new paths forward. We're going to be the ones that come up with better ideas on how to overcome some of the issues that we're dealing with politically. We're going to leverage the AI and the tools to, rather than being afraid of them and be in fear and trying to resist it. No, 5D new humans, boom, boom, our lights are on. Let's leverage this. Let's leverage this intellectual capacity that the AI offers, right? But let's let 5D new humans, we're the source code. We're the programmers. And boom, boom, our lights are on. And every single human being wants to be in the love and the light. It's just the way it is. Are you in the love and the light? Are you with me in this concept? Are you resonating with this frequency? So again, all the information I'm sharing, they're just frequencies. And this narrative can go in any direction, and I can talk about any subject with any human being who is coherent, who has a thought concept to put on the table. Let's just put our thoughts on the table. Let's just boom, boom, put our lights on. So put your lights on. Add your 5D opinion here. Put it in the comments. Let's see where they can go. We don't attack. We don't talk about anybody else's point of view. We only talk about our own. Only share what you know inside of your own frequency. What you know as a 5D new human. Share that. What others have to say, we let it stand. We listen to it. If we have questions, we ask questions. But we don't belittle. We don't attack. We don't show our sarcasm. No, we're reserved because we're coherent. We're 5D new humans. Boom, boom. We're as coherent as the AI. That's what we are, 5D new humans. We're coherent like the AI. We know what the AI knows, but we don't know it through the data connection points that the AI has access to. We know it because we resonate in that frequency. We resonate in the frequency of knowing, and we know when something is right or when something is off. That's the 5D new human. That's what this podcast is about. So grateful you're here. And check out some of the other people I share who are 5D new humans. I share them on the Facebook channel, The Spiritual Quest. I have a Substack, Seeker Explorer, Rumble, The Spiritual Quest, YouTube, Seeker Explorer. I am eager to see if some comments can flow. Because till now, I'm only talking to the specific community that boom, boom is now in the new light. They are in this new frequency. It's beyond the duality, right? It's beyond Christ consciousness. It's beyond all of those things. We are the bridge between the old 3D matrix, that's the machine, and the new earth, which is really the old knowing. We are divine. We are divinity. We are love and light. That's what we are collectively. So we're going to resonate this collective frequency. We're going to manifest this frequency through the AIs. A daring challenge, a daring claim. Are you at 5D yet? Can't wait to hear your response. I love you. I truly do. I'm so grateful that you listen, and ask that you share this as best you can. Peace.